Today on Pack Saddle Basics, I'm going to teach you how I do a manty load and a few ways not to do a manty load. So I always keep both manties tied up. And I keep both manty ropes inside so they're always there. And I've got a very special load I'm packing in today. Shavings, just for a demonstration. So you always want to put your load corner to corner. I always start with the bottom. This is a really small load. So I fold it over. You want to at least go halfway up on your load, and kind of the same thing with the side on this one. I'm going to fold it over. It doesn't really matter whether you do the left or the right side first. And we get both sides. You want to make sure you tuck it in nice and tight. And same thing with the top. This is going to be the top. This is your rain flap that keeps all the moisture if you hit a rainstorm out. So I have another video on how to store these ropes, how to tie them up, but I always tie them to where my loop that I use first ends up. I can toss the rest out of the way. And then I have my loop. So I start at the top. And you want this to where the knot ends up in the center of your load. It usually has to be off on one side. So when you tighten it up, on a smaller load, I'm going to do 3 half hitches. On larger loads, I might have to do 4. I put a packer's knot in the first one, which is just pulling a loop through. I know it's kind of hard to see with my hands in the way. And then I pull a loop through a loop. Then I put a half hitch over it to keep it there. And I do one more half hitch right around the center. And same thing, pull it tight. I'm gonna flip this around, but what I usually do is on that last one, I go to the other side. You don't have to, but it makes it a little easier. So, same thing, pull it to where it's even, and you'll see that it pulls this one up. That's not a problem, and I'll show you in a minute why. Is then I'm going to go over to the back, and this is where I can make sure these are all even. They just have to be close. They don't have to be absolutely perfect. And now I'm going to do another packer's hitch here, which is a loop, and that pulls that back down. If you pinch that off, it'll stay, and you got another loop. And then I put a half hitch so it stays. And there, the perfect manty load. Next video, we're going to show you how to do an actual load with real stuff. So now I have a little bit of extra rope, a lot more on this one. What I do is I pull it up through, and I pull this to the end. And I'll just wrap these around a couple times. And when you get to the end, just tie a knot on it, and you got a perfect load ready to go on the animal. So this time I'm going to do it a little quicker, more in real time. So again, corner to corner. The most important one is make sure your bottom has enough. If you don't have enough like this, you're going to lose your load. So I bring the bottom up, tuck the side in. In this case, it's a pretty small load, so I fold it over and bring that up. I can't do a Christmas present, but I can do this. So bring the other side up. Tie this in and bring up your rain flap. So same thing, untie the manty rope, toss the end. You've got the end that you're going to use first. I start with the top. That same old third of the way up. This first one is the most important. If it's not tight, nothing else will be. Put that packer's hitch in there. Then I bring one more. This one's gonna go right about the center. And either flip it around or go around. Same thing, I'm going to bring it up on its side. Make sure that your ropes are in the right spot. Bring it back over. And it's the same thing. Pull it tight, that makes these all back even. Pinch this, a loop through a loop. Finish it off with a half hitch. And then I do that same thing where I pull it right to the end. You can also do this with a daisy chain. You just don't want it hanging down. And there is 2 manty loads. I really like doing the manty loads as opposed to panniers most time because they're very unforgiving for odd loads. A shovel out the top, a long fly rod, and they're actually very easy to set up. Hope this helped. See you next time. This is how I put my manty ropes up. I just wrap it around. Hold this tight, go around a couple times, put this through, and then my manty rope is always ready. And when I'm ready to use it, this is the end with the loop. It's the first thing to come off. Keep that in my hand and toss it out.